It is time to take care of this compost. This is my second turn at the compost bin. The other one was all winter long. I got this compost bin off Marketplace in November, and then I proceeded to work on that. And then I emptied it April. And now with a lot more vegetation coming in, it's filled up a little bit faster. And I was composting meat also here and there, not too much. And yeah, there would be maggots, but not too bad. And it never smelled. I get my fair share of coffee grounds from my husband's office. So that, I think, is why the smell wasn't too bad. Oh, this compost technically like flips down and then you can dump it lower to the ground, but my wagon here is high up, so that's why I'm shoveling this stuff out versus just dumping it. Yeah, so you'll get maggots, but I have a lot of, I guess it's so wet that I have a lot of mosquitoes. Now, it's not necessarily that they're over here, but they hang out here. So I don't know, like there could be standing water somewhere else that I'm not paying attention to, that I don't know about, but they like to hang out here also. They don't bother me. I mean, I don't hang out here at dusk or anything. I try to stay as far away from here at that point, but yeah, when I am here, they don't bother me. And they're slow and lazy, so they're easy to kill. They're very big, not the little tiny, like tigery looking mosquitoes. So maybe it's a specific breed. All right, this is no longer doing the job. Get the shovel. So this is not finished by any means. So this is just going to go into the compost pile that sits on the ground by the chickens. And I have to work on that compost pile and get that processed before I dump this on the ground. So I'm not too good about the bugs, but I think these are soldier fly maggots, which is good. I saw another maggot. Where'd it go? There's not that many, so there's one. A little maggoty thing. So I don't know what that ends up being. There was also, looked like a cockroach, which is not common in these parts, so it might have been a beetle of some kind. But yeah, there's a few of these. I think they're black soldier larvae. So if the chickens were better, I would actually let them have at it, but nope, nothing for the chickens. By the chickens, I mean they don't have a dedicated space to kick around compost and not just have it be lost to the earth. So I don't give them that job. All right, we're gonna fill this up with paper clippings. Shredded paper. Just kids with the school papers, never ending paper supply. I've got some trimmings from indoor plants, dead leaves. Let that paper dust settle. It's windy today, so shouldn't take too long. All right, I got no shortage of this weed, so plunk some of that in there, get it out of my way. This will also pull up some dirt from the ground. That's good for the feed the compost with. Some diversity. All right, next we have a few green trimmings from the calendula, some yucky basil, and some parsley stem I still have to process. They'll go in here. And then we have the kitchen scraps. Coffee grounds, waffle with Nutella. I had a bunch of scapes that I forgot to do something with, so they started to mold on me. And banana peels and the like. And then we've got the Bokashi bucket. Now I mentioned I put meat in here and dairy and cheese over the winter. And I don't think that's a big deal over winter, because it's cold, the smell stays, contained, doesn't attract anything. But in the summer, that's the opposite. Lots of stench coming up. But this is Bokashi. If you don't know, it's spent grains from, I don't know, rice, mainly beer making. So hops, I guess, barley. And they take that, they infuse it with stuff. It gets lactobacillus infused. And then that's a fungi that likes to compost. So you do it in a bucket. I mean, you could do it in the dirt too. You dig a trench, you put your compost, you sprinkle the bokashi, you cover it up. But who has that much dirt to be digging up and putting in trenches? So most of us do the bucket. What's in the bucket? Well, you don't want to know. Do you really want to know? Be careful what you wish for. No, but this has been doing really well, actually. I think it's a successful bokashi bucket. Now I just gotta open it. Now they say put an airtight lid on it. It doesn't have to be airtight. That's not what has to be airtight. The lid is so raccoons, mainly if you don't have bears, raccoons and the like, don't open it up. But these, as long as you keep at least one tab open, then it's not so hard for most people to get these open. I haven't opened this in a couple of days, actually, so I don't know what we're going to see. So it just smells acidic. I think I put some citrus in there, so it smells like that. But usually it doesn't smell. So this is the part that is airtight, or at least the least amount of air as you can get it. This is like a planter. Oops. No, it's falling apart. This is just, ceramic planter for prettiness you put in your yard. I picked it up last year. This is the purpose it has now. And then this is a paper plate that I wrapped in parchment. No, this is wax paper because it fit the bucket circumference perfectly. So that's what's keeping it as airtight as I can get it. Now what we're looking at, get you closer. All right, what we're looking at is that white mold fuzz, white fungus. That's the bokashi doing its work. Now they say you shouldn't put moldy things in here. Initially, my opinion is initially you wouldn't do that because you need this fungus to be established before you put any other stuff in here that could have fungus in it of its own, and then that would end up taking over, and then you would have not this kind of bokashi system. But I put a few fungusy things in there, moldy things in there, and they're fine because they were overpowered by this good stuff. It's so pretty. Like, if you just see it and you don't know what you're looking at, it's horrible. But when you are into these things, this is so awesome. That's why I like composting. Like, things that are supposed to be what they should be, and they turn out just as they should be, and then you feel like you accomplished something because it turned out as it was supposed to. All right, so this is what I do for the summer. My meats, cheeses, pizza. What's in here? See bones. I see a bagel with cream cheese. Yeah, I dumped several things in here. That doesn't end up in the kitchen compost. And there's really not that much in here. There's only, well, it's been squished, so a little, maybe 3 inches of material in there. Now, where I failed is this other bucket. So this bucket has holes, tiny holes at the bottom, so that the fluid that's being squished out is falling into the secondary bucket. And I thought I had enough air space. There's what's at the bottom of this? It's charcoal, not charcoal. Well, it's coals, and I was gonna. The idea was to inoculate them with the Bokashi liquid, and I thought there was enough there to keep this bucket so that it wasn't airtight like it is now. So I failed there. So I have to wrench this thing apart and fix that the second round. But otherwise, this is going in. Let's see if there's any fluids that come out. No, no fluids. Yeah, so there you have it. 3 inches of food waste. I still see the bagel. I mean, if you leave this in the bucket for months on end, then you'll get more decomposition. But that's not the purpose of the Bokashi. What else do I have in here? Looks like garlic ends from something I bought. No, those were old garlic from the winter harvest or the fall harvest. Yeah, otherwise, that's the current compost. I gotta turn it, get some water and moisten it. We have a little bit of water here. Use that. And that's that. Yeah, let me close it up and turn it. Oh, it's so easy to turn when it's empty. Such a pain when it's full. I wish I could have gotten the 2-bay system, but beggars can't be choosers. But I'm still looking. I'm on the lookout for the 2-bay system. And I don't rotate nearly as often as I should. All right, I got the buckets apart, and I put some remnant stone there to keep the bottom from locking in again. I don't have anything to put in here right now, but I am just going to set it up. Now, I bought this Bokashi, I think SD microbes, several years ago, 3 years ago, I think. And I used it, then you're all excited. Then I stopped using it, and now I'm using it again. So I am generous. The first, the bottom, I am more generous with. That's the beginning. So I like to make sure I coat the bottom. But then beyond that, I do a tablespoon, which this handy dandy scooper happens to have. When I add food, I just toss in a tablespoon on top. But different people have their own methodology. And then I'm just gonna, I need a new plate because I lost my paper plate rotted down as it's supposed to. So I'll just put this here for now. Close it up. And that's ready for the next go. Well, it is starting to drizzle. I don't know if I'm going to get to the composting of the other thing, of the pile there. So I'll say bye now. So I'll harvest more. Talk to you again soon.